being productive, filming 2 videos in 1 day. So if you see this outfit, if you recognize this outfit, that's why. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be interesting, something I haven't really done on my channel as of yet, but I am pretty excited to do this video with you guys. We are going to be going over my foundation collection / ranking and going through and letting you guys know which ones are my favorite and why, and also which ones are not my favorite and why they're still in my collection even if they're not my favorite. So before we get into going through these foundations, there are some of them that I have 2 of the same foundation in different shades, and that's mainly because either one, I couldn't make up my mind on what would be the best shade match for me when I was ordering online, if I did order it online, or 2, I'm using them to mix. So one is either a bit too light and one is a bit too dark, but both of them together are the perfect match. A couple of these foundations that we are going to be talking about today, I've mentioned in previous videos, and some of them I have done, actually I think 2 of them I've done like a dedicated video to them. So I will mention them as I go through and also leave the link to that specific video in the description bar or somewhere here in the cards as we go through. Okay, so to start off, in my foundation collection, I have 10 different foundations, 11 if you count my BB cream, but I am not counting that one. And these are liquid and cream foundations. I much prefer liquid and cream foundations over powder foundations. I just feel like they work better for me, and also it's what I have the most experience with. I'm wondering if I should just go through them all first and then let you guys know which ones are my favorite, or just show you them one by one. You know what? Actually, we're just going to go in order of my, I guess, quote unquote favorite, or what I am using the most, starting off with the Illmakiage Woke Up Like This foundation. This foundation, I would say in the past month or 2, has been the one I have been using the most. 9 times out of 10 when I'm picking up a foundation in the past like month or 2, like I said, I'm picking up this foundation, and I do have 2 shades. I have the shade 60 and the shade 95. This foundation retails for $44 and is available on the Illmakiage website. I don't think it's available at any other retailer now that I'm thinking about it. This line has up to 50 shades. And I did do a dedicated video to this foundation a couple weeks ago. So like I said, I am going to put it either somewhere here in the cards or link it in the description bar if you want to see a more in-depth review, I guess, on it. And the reason why I ended up with 2 shades is because Illmakiage has an online quiz that you can take to figure out your shade. And I have to say it is pretty good. Depending on what shade that quiz matches you to, Illmakiage will then send you a full-size foundation in that shade that the quiz generated and let you try it for free for 14 days. If for whatever reason the shade is not your perfect match and you contact them within those 14 days, you can return it with no cost to you. That is how I ended up with 2 shades. So the shade 60 is actually a pretty decent match. However, it's on the lighter side. And I would say this matches me pretty well right now, but I'm not usually this light. I usually do have a little bit of a quote unquote tan because I'm out about in the sun a lot more. And in this last year in 2020, because of COVID and Corona, I really didn't see the sun much. So I have absolutely no color, I guess you could say, to my skin. So while this is a pretty good match, I know for a fact that come the summer months, this is not going to be matching me. So I messaged them and they sent me 95, which is actually a much better match for my tan shade, but also closer to what I would normally be if we weren't in the house 24/7. So I have been mixing these 2 to kind of get my perfect in-between shade for now until summertime. So currently, this is my number 1. Number 2 on the list is my Elsie Micro Sleek Foundation, and I have mine in the shade Sand. The Elsie Cosmetics is $45 for 1 fluid ounce. I don't think I mentioned the fluid ounces on the Illmakiage, but it was also 1 fluid ounce. This foundation comes in 12 shades, so not the best shade range in terms of a variety of colors. And this shade for me is also slightly leaning towards my tan skin or my normal. So right now a better match for me might be the vanilla, but come the summer months, like I said, this shade is matching me fine. The first time I used this foundation, I've had it since the end of 2020, roughly. I think this is one of the first foundations that I ever was like, quote unquote, blown away when using it. It just felt so lightweight on the skin, blended in beautifully, looked like skin, lasted great. And I remember posting about this, that I found my wedding day foundation, so what I would wear on my wedding day, which I still stand by with this. However, the Illmakiage is kind of giving it a little bit of a run for its money right now. Number 3 on my list right now, like I said, this is right now. Prior to getting the Illmakiage foundation, this ranking would probably have gone a little bit different. So next on the list is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Crowd pleaser right here. So I am in the shade 460 Golden Beige of this foundation. It retails for about $12 at Target. At Ulta is more expensive. And I've actually noticed that with a lot of drugstore brands for cosmetics, guys. So between Target and Ulta, or like Walmart and Ulta sometimes is marked up like $2 or $3 more, which I have no idea why. So always double check. When you're going to purchase like a drugstore brand, I would say buy those from Target or Walmart or whatnot versus Ulta, because it's gonna be cheaper. So Target price, Walmart price, this one is $11.99, comes in 40 shades. And this is my number 1 drugstore foundation. So all the other ones that I have are going to be more of a high-end foundation. But in terms of drugstore, of all the ones that I've tried, this is my number 1. Prior to getting the Illmakiage foundation and the LC foundation, this was my go-to. And prior to getting Illmakiage, I would actually mix these two. So these are coming in for second, pretty close, neck and neck. Next on the list, this one is actually one that grew on me with time. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Stick Foundation, which came out, I believe, 2020, like October, November, right around the fall VIB sale, the fall savings sale at Ulta. I have the shade Toasted Coconut in 240N. And this one I also have a dedicated review and video, so I'll leave that in the description bar below. So I won't give away too much in case you decided to watch that, but in that video, I wasn't 100% convinced with this foundation. The shade I didn't feel like matched me as well as I wanted to. It was more on the lighter side than what I would prefer, but I have been using it more often these days. So what I'll do, especially on days that I'm going into the office for work and I just want something light, I'll do a little bit of this mixed with a little bit of either the LC or the Illmakiage and buff it in, and it gives me coverage without it feeling super heavy. It retails for $39 and comes in 39 shades. Next foundation that we have, oh, I just dropped it. The next foundation that we have is another one that I have 2 of, and this is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. And this purchase, I can blame on Raw Beauty Christy. She raved and raved and raved about this foundation so much that I finally decided to give it a try. I believe I bought this, they were having some sort of sale, like a 30% off sale, and which is why I bought the 2 shades. And also they had a quiz on their, I believe they had some sort of quiz on their website as well to shade match. Now, this foundation comes in 100 shades. So you're bound to find your shade match within 100 different options. But I also feel like having 100 options can make it harder to match your skin tone because you have so many options. So I have 2 shades. I have MG6 and I have TN5. So tan 5 and medium 6. Clearly the tan is way too dark for me right now. I am going to be putting up photos of swatches. I swatched all these foundations side by side in natural light outside to kind of give you guys an idea of what they look like together. You're also going to be able to see the difference in the shades and how all of them still somewhat work for me. This one would definitely not work for me. This one was a great match maybe 2 years ago after I had come back from vacation. My fiance and I went to Puerto Rico and I got the worst sunburn of my life. And as a result, I was pretty dark compared to my natural skin tone. So I had to get a completely different shade. I mean, look at the difference between these two, and you'll see in the swatches as well, this is a really big difference. So this one I can likely use now to mix in with other foundations that might be a little bit too light. So we got through about halfway. So I have 10 in total, and I went over the first 5 brands, and those I would say would be my top 5. The rest, I'm semi-ranking them in order. I'm not going to go in as much detail as I did with these first 5, but again, just so you guys can get an idea. And I'll also include a picture of the swatches that I did of these 5 as well, so you can get an idea of what the range is looking like. This next one is one that I kind of forgot about since getting a couple of the other ones that I have. This is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Wear Hydrating Foundation. Not to be confused with their 24-hour one that they have now. This guy retails for $38, and I have the shade 2.35, which is considered a light medium with a warm golden undertone. I really did enjoy this one when I was using it. It just kind of fell to the back of the drawer when I started using some of these other ones. So I do still highly recommend this one. It is a little bit harder to find, so I didn't find it on the Ulta website. The only place that I really found it was at Nordstrom. The next foundation is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I have mine in the shade Warm Nude. This guy is actually new. I have gone through this foundation before, so this is, I guess, a repurchase for me, but I believe I had it in a different shade. I want to say I had like golden beige or something like that, which the shade wasn't the best match for me. This one retails for $40 and also in a variety of shades. Okay, we've got another one from the drugstore. So this one is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, and I have mine in the shade 220 Natural Beige. This guy is so matte. I remember purchasing this after Tati Glam Life Guru did her review on it, and she really enjoyed it, and most of the things that she recommends tend to work for me, so that's why I bought this one. But I found it to be way too matte for my skin type. I have combo skin that leans oily, especially my T-zone area and kind of this area of my face. So with this one, it went on pretty matte, but I would say about halfway through the day or about like 2 or 3 o'clock, because it was so matte, I think my natural oils were like screaming and just would come through, and I would get so oily by the end of the day. So I was using this as kind of a mixer for a while with some of my other foundations that were maybe a bit too dewy. Yeah, this is definitely on the bottom of my list in terms of favorites. In terms of the ones that I use, I probably should even toss this because I don't really use this at all. I don't remember the last time I picked it up. It does retail for $9.99, and they have it in a variety of shades. Maybelline has some great complexion products, so I'm not saying that this is a bad product. I'm just saying it didn't work for me and my skin type. Right, and the next one is this one. This one's really sad, actually. This is the LYS Love Yourself Triple Fix Serum Foundation. This one's actually relatively new to my collection. I picked it up maybe a month or 2 ago. I have the shade MG2, and this retails for $22. So this is available at Sephora and the Love Yourself or LYS Beauty website. And I so badly wanted to love this. I just can't seem to get it to work for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I also have a video on the Love Yourself LYS brand because I purchased a couple things from the brand when it launched. So I will link that video in the description bar. But I just couldn't get it to work for me. I tried it with a gripping primer. I tried it with a non-gripping primer. I tried it with a sponge. I tried it with a brush. And for whatever reason, it just seems to break apart on my skin. It just doesn't want to stick. People are raving about this though, so it's gotta be either I'm doing something wrong or my face just doesn't like it. So I'm not knocking this by any means. It's just not working for me. Leave me a comment below if you use this foundation, leave me a comment below. Let me know how you use it or how you've gotten it to work for you, because I'm really, really wanting to make this work, because I'd be really sad if I couldn't make this work. It's a great product. The shade match was pretty good. It's $22, cruelty-free, vegan. I really want to love this. So yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know how you use this. And then last but not least, we have the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, which, if you haven't heard already, as of September 2021, Becca will no longer exist. So this guy is currently on major sale on Sephora. This goes for $44, and if I'm not mistaken, when I checked earlier today, it's on sale for $30 at Sephora. I have the shade Driftwood. This guy I actually got in a BoxyCharm. And since I got it, I think I've used it once. I think it's just too full coverage for my preference. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a foundation with coverage, but I prefer more of a like medium coverage, medium buildable coverage versus a like straight, just like full coverage. And it is pretty thick. So this one might be one that I can consider mixing with like the LYS, since it's a serum foundation, to see if that'll work. But yeah. Out of all the ones that I have, I would say right now the ones on the very bottom of my list are going to be the Maybelline Superstay, the LYS until I can figure out how to make it work, and the Becca, just because it's so full coverage, and that's not usually my preference. So yeah, those are the 10 foundations in my collection. I know this might seem excessive, but I rotate through at least half of these, you know, regularly. A couple of the other ones, like I said, the Maybelline, I should probably get rid of since I'm not using. And the LYS and the Becca, I'm going to try mixing those together and see if I can get it to work that way. I hope the pictures with the swatches are helpful for you guys. I've gotten a couple questions on several of my YouTube videos of like my skin tone and some of my foundation shades to help shade match, in case you think that you're feeling like your skin tone is similar to my skin tone. And hopefully by including those pictures, get a visual of what the shades look like compared to what the shades look like side by side as well. So you can see the variation in the different shades that I use overall. I would have to say, if I had to pick one right now that is like my best match, I would have to say it's the Illmakiage in 60, so the lighter of the two shades, and or the Huda Beauty in Toasted Coconut. So these two, with the way my skin right now, would be my quote-unquote best match. However, I personally like to go a little tanner in my shades, because I feel like when I go this light, I look too pale. And that's not my preference. So yes, these would be the two that are my perfect match right now. Otherwise, you know, if the world was back to normal, then my perfect match would be definitely the LC in Sand, and actually the Illmakiage in 95. So either way, we've got some options. So that's it for this video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found that helpful. Just going through my my foundation collection and ranking. Let me know if you like these types of videos, and if so, what makeup product would you like me to do next, or makeup category would you like me to do next, of kind of going through my collection or ranking. I hope you hit the subscribe button before you leave, like this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.